I hope you had a great weekend. Well, today, we all know by now that sitting is the new smoking, and we all know that the more you sit, what we need to understand about sitting is the more you sit, your body basically gets trained to be in that position. So the more you work out, the more you walk, your body's constantly getting trained by the activity that you do, which is why we practice the things that we want change in order to incur into our system. You want to build biceps and someone's using a dumbbell, you keep doing that same repetitive motion, changing your weights and the number of reps that you possibly do. So basically the action is what trains your muscle. When we're constantly sitting, your chair and your sitting position is training your back and your muscles into something which is not natural to the human body. So what can we do? We all know sitting is the new smoking, but to be practical, many of us have jobs that require us to sit. Okay, there's a solution out of this. Now, when you sit with a backrest, what happens is the moment you use the backrest of a chair to support your system, most people don't even use the backrest the right way. There's a little curve between their lower back and the base of the chair. So what happens is you put more pressure on your lower spine. And sometimes even with a backrest, if your head is tilted in the front, you put more stress on your cervical. Now, when you're using the backrest, you need to push the lower part of your butt into the base of the seat so that the back of the seat is actually supporting your lower back. But we have a better solution today, which will also train your core muscles. It's very, very simple. All you need to do is move to the front of your seat, which means you move to the edge of the seat in a safe way so that you don't fall off. And now what happens is you don't use the backrest. By doing this, you engage your core muscles. And what happens is you allow your body, it's still bad to sit in for a long time in this position, but you're engaging your core muscles and your posture automatically gets better, because without the backrest, you will automatically find yourself dipping in front or moving behind. So that's why sitting on a medicine ball, sitting on a chair that doesn't have a backrest will do two things for you: to train your core muscle, improve your posture, your muscle distribution in your body, and number two is every time it gets uncomfortable, it will be your mindful trigger for you to stand up, move around, go to the toilet, get a glass of water, stretch, or do something like that. So you may have a sitting job, but the important thing is if you're sitting with a backrest, all you need to do is move in front and sit with your back straight. You can still continue working, talking to people in meetings. Now, you don't have to just do this in your office. You can even do this on flights. I'm not saying you need to sit the whole flight in that position, but regularly, especially people who travel a lot, long distance flights, one of the best ways is sit at the edge of your seat in a comfortable position. It is very comfortable once you start doing it because we're all used to just slouching and using the backrest of the chair to support us. So that's something that the body easily gets comfortable with. You know, the human body looks for comfort, which is why we need to challenge it with movement and exercise. So on a flight, in a car, at an airport, wherever you are, try to use the backrest as little as possible. Now, some people who have a back problem and carry a lot of weight, this position may be difficult for them. So if you have to use the backrest, like I said, make sure that the bottom, your butt is pushed into the lower part of the seat, so there should be no gap. So if you're using the backrest, you shouldn't be able to pass your hand through. You shouldn't be able to pass anything through. So either you use a small rolled cushion or a rolled towel, but the best practice, if sitting is in your life, is to move to the front of your chair, and you will find how your core muscles get engaged and everything changes. So sitting is still bad for you, but this makes it better for the people who probably have desk jobs and cannot get up as freely as they would want to do. So teach this to your children, teach this to your parents, senior citizens, everyone. This little inexpensive lifestyle change can make a huge difference with lower back problems, cervical problems. The more we sit, our core muscles never get used. And we all know today, for everything in the human body, if you have a strong core, you don't need to have a six-pack to have a strong core. You need to have a strong core to support. Your core is not just the front. It travels right around this whole circumference to your back. If your core is strong, your posture gets better, your back pain reduces, everything gets better. So you can use your sitting position to actually work out your core muscles. Don't confuse that with a six-pack. Sitting is never going to give you a six-pack. So you may want to share this with everyone and start doing it yourself. Like I said, self-discipline, Practice, practice, practice. I can bet in a few days you'll get rid of your chair with a backrest, and you'll probably start using a medicine ball or a stool which doesn't have a backrest, so that engages you to sit in that alert position. And remember, when you're upright, when you sit upright, oxygen can flow more freely along your spine, which means you have more brain energy, your productivity, you feel better, clarity of ideas. But when you're in a slouched position, everything changes. Your circulation becomes poor, your oxygen transportation changes, everything changes. So it's all about the right posture. Just move from the back of your chair to the front of your chair, adjust the level so that your feet are always flat on the ground, not hanging up above, flat on the ground. And this is the position that will change the negative effects of sitting for you. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great week. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.